Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Zone, presented to you by Xodus TV. So glad to see you here. Thank you guys for attending. To all my viewers and all my supporters, you are much appreciated, and we do this for you. Like I said before, we definitely do this for you. All right, so we got another great show for you today, and of course, as always, I definitely want to start it off with our word for today. Excuse me, I definitely got to pull it up. I had it up, but of course, I lost it. Anyway, so the word for today is keep going. No matter how bad things are right now, no matter how stuck that you feel, no matter how many days you've spent crying, no matter how many days you've spent wishing things were different, no matter how hopeless and depressed you feel, I promise you, you won't feel this way forever. Keep going. So let me expound on that just a little bit to give you guys just a little gist of my interpretation of that. I know that we all have struggles. We all have things that we deal with on a daily basis, weekly basis, yearly basis. You got to remember to keep going. You got to remember that you're important. It doesn't matter. No one really needs to tell you that you're important. Nobody needs to come up to you and tell you, hey, you matter. You've got to understand that for yourself. You've got to have the realization in your mindset to understand that you are important and everybody matters. And anything that you are trying to do and anything that you want to do is important. There's a lot of times that we try to do things and we want to do things and like nobody else sees the vision. Nobody else understands where we're coming from or how we feel the way we feel. Let's take this to a whole nother realm, and let's say we're dealing with something and we don't feel like no one understands what we're dealing with or how we feel about what we're dealing with, and to the extent to where it makes us feel about what we're dealing with. And we have to keep going. We have to understand that we have to continue going. We battle. As people, we battle. As people, we continue. As people, we're strong. We're strong. And the mindset, we want to create a strong mindset so that you understand and that everyone around you understands that you're going to do what you need to do when you need to do it and how you need to do it to be whatever it is you want to be. And however it is that you feel, just know that Xodus TV thinks it's just as important. And with that said, put some likes on the video. And even if you don't want to put any likes on the video because you want to stay kind of indiscreet or discreet, should I say, in the comments, let us know how you feel. Let us know how you feel about what you have going on and in what way that you want us to try to help you to conquer what you're trying to conquer, because at the end of the day, I'm here for you. So just remember that word of the day, guys. Keep going. Keep going. And with that said, it is now time to get down to the nitty gritty. Thank you for tuning in. Xodus TV is now representing The Zone. And we are here, baby, and it's time. All right. So I'm so excited about this. I want to get into my very, very first thing now, which was my very last thing that I talked about on the last show, which was Ja Morant. We were waiting. Do you remember? We were waiting to hear back from what exactly was going to be his punishment. So we got his punishment, guys. We definitely got his punishment, and we know what his punishment is now. It is 25 games suspension, a 25-game suspension for the start of the next season. How is that affecting him, and how is that affecting the Memphis Grizzlies? Let me tell you right now. According to statistics, in 2021-2022, they were 20-5 without Ja Morant. Now, I could go to 2021-2022, they were 20-5 without Ja Morant. Now, in 2022 and 2023, they were 11-10. Now, this is because elevation. He's elevated as a player. See, when you elevate as a player, that's when more, and this is for John Moran as well. When you elevate as a player, that's when more things begin to cloud what you're trying to do. So 2021, 2022 may have not necessarily been a factor. However, 2022, 2023, this past season, brother, they need you. He did apologize to his fans, those that looked up to him, as far as his mistake that he felt that he made, and just trying to be a better person and a better role model. And by all means, we stand there with you, and we wish you the best on your journey to become the best basketball player and the best role model and the best father and the best husband or boyfriend, whichever situation that may be for you, and the best son that you can possibly be. We definitely believe in you, man. And, things happen. So we want to continue to make sure that you do what you got to do. I am at the end of that session. My time has concluded. All right. Next major subject that happened over this weekend. These are the weekend stats, guys. We still have something coming for you at the end of the weekend. However, these are the weekend stats. Michael Jordan, Air Michael Jordan, is now finalizing the Hornets sale after 13 years. Charlotte Hornets are now, his majority ownership is now being sold after 13 years. And that is a headline within itself, but we also want to add to that headline, does this affect his legacy? For one, please don't ever ask me that question again. And I hope that you out there is telling me, don't you ever ask me that again. It's not affecting his legacy. Okay, guys, it's a business venture that he took on. The franchise itself hasn't done well under Michael Jordan. We don't really necessarily know, I think, specifically if it was because of him or just because of the way that the cards fell. Sometimes the cards don't fall in your hands if you play poker or you play chess. Sometimes it just doesn't happen the way you want it to happen. Now, after 13 years, there's got to be something going on up in there to where it's like, okay, it might be a tad bit your fault, but at the end of the day, you are Air Michael Jordan. Everybody's buying your shoes. Everybody loves you. So, no, it's not affecting Michael Jordan's legacy. If anything, it's going to build to his legacy because he is selling that franchise for $3 billion. Okay. So here's a billionaire already getting ready to sell a majority that he bought. A majority that he bought of that team for more than what he bought it for. So, I mean, if anything, he's raising up. It's definitely a great thing, and we wish Michael Jordan the best in all his future endeavors, but it's definitely not affecting his legacy. It's definitely building to it. He had it, he got it, he sold it, and if anybody knows anything about the barter and the trade system and how business works, that's what we do. We buy it and we sell it for more than what we bought it for. That's just business. On to our next subject right now, here and right now. Okay, so I didn't get a chance to talk to you guys about this the last time that we were on. However, this time I did want to touch this subject, which was the Justin Herbert subject on a potential hold from Justin Herbert, in which we do know that he is now eligible for a contract extension, this offseason. And we expected him, or we thought that he may hold out on his team. However, Justin Herbert is not holding out on his team, and obviously this guy wants a Super Bowl. Okay. The reason why I've come to this conclusion is because, like he said, hey, I'm going to be there for my team, and my team's going to see me, and we are ready for the next season. So big shout out to Justin Herbert for taking that big step and being who he needs to be for his team, as well as taking personal and business separate. He does play the game of football in the National Football League. However, he did not let politics control his decision making and what he decides to do with his career. What he decides to do with his career is really what he decides to do with his career. However, we do know specifically that he's not holding out. So he's a player that is there for the long haul. If they work out something in the off season, or if they work out something before the season, or even during the season, I think he's okay with that. But for right now, he's trying to play some football, and we're ready to see you. We are ready to see you. Okay? We know he's gotten better in the off season. We are definitely looking to see what he has for this year. All right, guys, I'm on to my next subject. I didn't touch it last time, but I'm definitely going to touch it this time. Should the Packers feel confident with Jordan Love this year? That's a great question. So we did see Jordan Love a few games last year with Aaron Rodgers being out. We do know that he played above par. He wasn't average. What would be the season with Jordan Love? Excuse me. What would be the season with Jordan Love without Aaron Rodgers? I heard a sports analyst say we're looking forward to a losing season from Green Bay Packers. I don't think that that is necessarily true. Just taking the fact that the NFC is, I wouldn't say wide open, but it's very competitive. So I think that they have enough competitiveness to be competitive this year. And he's going to get his opportunity to show the franchise exactly where he's coming from, where his mind has been all these years, taking the back seat. And I think that we'll see a lot from Jordan Love that we didn't expect. And I expect him to be more so like a Justin Fields, excuse me. I think that he's definitely going to come to play. So, and also, I think that the Green Bay Packers are going to come to play. So I don't think that we should be taking them lightly, kind of like how we did the Denver Nuggets this year. They just won the National Basketball Association championship when we took them so light. I don't think we need to take the Packers lightly. I think that they do have a very decent team. And I think with a role player that's able to gel in with the players and able to connect with the players, I think that would be better for them than having, maybe a seniority type of player who kind of like wants you to do the specific thing more so than getting these young guys together and then building themselves together. I think that would be great for the Green Bay Packers. And I think that this is what they're looking for in, overall anyway. So we are definitely watching this story on the Green Bay Packers, and we are still watching the story on the Denver Broncos. But the Green Bay Packers are definitely a big story. To see exactly how they're going to finish this year. Now, I have something that we all know is coming up. 2023 NBA Draft. The 2023 NBA Draft presented by State Farm on Thursday, June 22nd at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ABC and ESPN. Now, we understand the French player, Victor Wembanyama, is projected number one. He's definitely projected number one, 7'5" center from France. And he's projected number one. As we all know, the San Antonio Spurs have the number one pick in the draft. Are they going to pick him? And if they didn't pick him, who would they pick? If I can kind of go with the Joneses, if I could go with the Joneses the way I feel like the way it would probably be like, they're definitely gonna pick him. I couldn't see them not picking him. Is that gonna be what they need to get over the hump in San Antonio? I'm not really sure. Just from my standpoint, he looks like a great player. He's a great basketball player. He's definitely gonna need some meat. He's going to need to beef up to get ready for some of those pushes and those shrugs and those picks. They're going to have to beef him up a little bit to get him ready for the NBA game. And then, of course, with the taller players, kind of like Yao Ming, we are interested to see about how prone he would be to injury because the NBA is a very physical game. It's different rules from France, which is maybe easier for him to play in. As far as coming to the United States. However, this is a physical game here, and we put bodies and we do things to bodies that you don't see on national TV because you're not on the court. and just understand that. This is a very physical game when it comes to basketball, so don't take that lightly when it comes to these new players coming in, and they're going to definitely feel that. We do wish him all the best in his future endeavors, and I believe the San Antonio Spurs will pick him. If they didn't pick him, I would be surprised, but I would probably bet my bottom dollar, and I would probably bet your bottom dollar, that the San Antonio Spurs will definitely pick him, considering that they are really, really big on founding their teams around a good center and a good power forward. As we already know with Tim Duncan and David Robinson, they founded those teams off that, and they were successful and won championships off of those teams. So we do know that they are definitely looking for big men, and then once you get the big men in, it's a lot easier to get some of these guards and some of these other players. If that person is showing that they can be adequate, it's a lot easier to get some of these other guys in there to play with them. And actually, in one more statistic, he would be the first player to go number one without playing in college since 2006. So, on Thursday, June 22nd, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ABC and ESPN, you could possibly be watching history. So keep note of that. It's a really good thing. You can tell your children, your children's children, and maybe somebody else's children that you were able to witness history, as we did with the Denver Nuggets, who just won the National Basketball Association's championship, which is their first title as a franchise. That's history, guys. It's in the books, and we saw it. All right, so we're going to go on to our last subject. I had to save the best for last because this is a show that I dearly watch. I am dearly endowed with this show, and I'm so appreciative to have watched the things that they were able to do while they were a show together, and I think that it's now time to spread a little bit of light on my feelings as to what happened with the show. We are going to my main man, Shannon Sharp, a.k.a. Shay Shay. He has now left undisputed as of the 13th of June, 2023. He did say his last goodbyes. That was his last show. If you ask me what happened with the show and how the show went down, so this is really cool. So we talk about a lot of things, I've seen a lot of people commentating on this, and I've seen a lot of people making shows out of this as far as this, and 135,000 views, 250,000 views, or whatever, and what they think which is what the rest of the world thinks. Which is that Shannon Sharp was disrespected by Skip Bayless. I'm not here to deny any points of possible disrespect. I'm not here to deny any points of blatant disrespect. Here's what I'm here to say. I'm here to say that there reaches a time in everybody's career when it is time to go. And when that time is time to go, things get in the way of that happening. So when we know that is supposed to happen, it's going to happen regardless. Just maybe some signs and maybe some things make it more evident. And I think that it was just, Shay Shay's time to go at that point in time. He's grown as a person. He's grown as a role model. He's grown as a football player, even though he doesn't play football. If you can catch that, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So I think that it was just time for him to go. It was time for that show to see its certain ways. And when we get to disrespect of this person, disrespect of that person, it's a deep relationship between these two guys. And those are things that they talk about, guys. So I don't want to be here to say something about a relationship between two people that we have no idea about. Just to understand the fact that they did do this show between them two, and it was time. It was time. Just like when you get in that relationship to where you're growing this way and she's growing this way, vice versa. I think that it was just time. So Big shout out to Shay. Big shout out to Skip. May all their future endeavors be blessed with whatever they're trying to do. Big story right now, Chris Middleton, trying to see what you're going to do, buddy. We're looking to see some more headlines on you because we don't know what you are trying to do, but we do know that we've got some interest with some other players from your franchise. We also know that DeAndre Hopkins is out there. He just met with the New England Patriots. So we want to see what DeAndre Hopkins is doing. I want him to come on to the Cowboys. He probably won't, but we definitely want to see where you go, big guy. You're definitely one of the best receivers of all time, let alone right now in our history. So we definitely are looking to see what you do. But, guys, that's all I have for now. This is your weekend sports headlines. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It's your boy, Xodus TV, coming to you live and correct. Welcome to the zone. We'll see you again. Peace.